Welcome to the Musician Gumbo Show with Athoas Brown. Add a cup of drums, a tablespoon of sax, and a pinch of piano. Stir it up and let it simmer. Sit back and enjoy the show. Well, you're listening to the Musician Gumbo Show here on BlogTalk Radio, episode number 1. Well, welcome, everyone, and thanks for listening today. I'm Erica Joseph. I'm here with Athoas Brown. Now, this show is to provide you online access to an experienced musician, composer, and producer who does music full-time and has learned to eat with his music. Athoas Brown does welcome questions. You can call into the show while we are recording, or you can send a message or email through Blog Talk Radio or any of the social media platforms you heard this show through. The call-in number is 607-203-5307. Well, good morning, Athoas.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Great, great. Well, where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from the City of Angels, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, California. All right. That's great. Well, I'm sitting here in sunny Florida today.
All right.
Well, I tell you what, today's show is to introduce everyone to you. So the way we're going to do that is I'm going to ask you a series of questions that will give the audience a chance to learn about you, and then we'll be able to let you share about your background and share with the audience. Are you ready?
Oh, yes, I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right, first question. What instruments do you play, and how long have you been playing them?
I play piano, and I've been playing piano for over 35 years. I also play organ as well. Organ is my first instrument, and 8 years later I started playing piano. So I do them both.
Okay, amazing, amazing. Now, who is your biggest musical influence, or who was your biggest musical influence growing up?
It was Jimmy Smith, jazz organist. When I first started taking music lessons, my instructor had a record of some jazz musicians, and he shared with me about Jimmy Smith, and I played Jimmy Smith, and immediately I was able to connect with his style and his way of playing. And after that, I was hooked ever since.
All right, fantastic. Now, next question is, what was the first concert you ever went to?
Well, the first concert I went to was an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert in high school. And it was a real exciting moment to actually see a professional band performing on stage with their effects and everything. The sound was great. I loved all their songs, so it was just a good way. It just felt good just to see them up there performing. And perhaps one day I would be doing something similar. But that was the first group.
Now, the next question is, if you could jam with anyone, who would it be?
It would probably be Kirk Whalum. Kirk Whalum is one of the premier sax players in cool jazz. And, you know, he really has a nice style, contemporary style. And he would definitely be one of the artists I would like to perform with if I had the chance to.
Great, great. Now, Athoas, I do know you've been knowing you a long time, and I know you have over 20 credits in various film and TV. So the next question has to do with, when did you decide to pursue a career in music and become a composer and producer? When did that happen?
That happened. I was at an event, and well, I was playing at the mall. I was a mall pianist, and this guy came up to me and asked me would I be interested in doing some music for a film he was working on. It was an independent film. I said, sure. And the film was on an artist named Teddy Edwards, sax player. And I met Teddy and had a chance to put some music to the film. Well, I didn't compose the whole film, but I had music that was in certain cues of the film. So just doing that, when I did that, I said, man, I like doing this. I can do this for a full-time career. And then shortly after, about 3-4 years later, I was introduced to MCA Records. And one of the guys I had met, he was a writer, and his keyboard player wasn't able to make the sessions. So I was referred to him by a mutual friend of ours, and I came down there and I played, and I've been playing ever since as far as when he needed keyboard work done or piano work done. And so I mean, just being in that environment with professionals that are actually doing it as a career.
Now, how old were you when you got started?
I was about, well, as far as on the composing then, I started around close to 31, 32. No, well, actually when I became 31, it became, I actually started at 28, but then I had a 3-year break, and then when I became 31, 32, it became full-time after that. That was my main pursuit.
Well, in that pursuit of this career as a composer and producer, can you tell us about, let's say, about 2 mistakes you made, and you say, wow, I learned from that one. I won't do that one again.
Well, I make sure in the future that I make sure I get legal advice. I was so anxious on getting on a particular project and didn't cross my T's and dot my I's like I should have. And then complications came up. And I learned from that point on that I need to make sure that the business end is done. Because when I found out in this business, it's 90% business, 10% creativity. So I would have to say the 2 mistakes is actually combined into one, is make sure the business end is secure. And that a person or a young person who want to get into it, make sure they understand what they're getting into when they sign a contract.
Make sure they ask lots of questions.
That's right. Ask lots of questions because the contract might not be a good fit for them. So they may have to pass and wait for another offer to come down the line.
So they don't have to jump at everything that comes their way.
No, they surely don't. Usually I would suggest people to because sometimes people want you to jump in and make a decision right away. So I would tell them, tell the person, let me have a little time to think about it. Now, if they can't wait for you to think about it, then it's time to move on. But most business deals or legitimate business people will give you a little time to think about it to see if it's a good fit for you.
Okay, well, the next question is, can you talk about, say again?
Oh, I was just saying that.
You said something?
Yes, I was saying that usually it's best to be able to, have as much information as you can, when you get into these contracts so you don't make a costly mistake.
I got it. Now, the next question has to do with the importance of connections you made over the years and how have they worked in your benefit?
Well, the best way I can say is to to have relationships. That's what this whole business is based on, relationships. Most work that comes through the pipeline is usually second and third-dairy information. Not information that you can go on the internet and just pull up. It's not really done like that. When you go to different type of networking events, you meet people, or you meet people who know people. You know, and that's why I have to say the importance of the connection is to be able to have relationship with people, because you never know what they may have done. You know, you may go to a dinner or cocktail party and you meet somebody who knows somebody, and you tell them what you're doing or what you do, and they say, well, hey, you know, I need this, and that. You know, and then you exchange numbers and talk and go from there. You know, but usually, like I say, it's usually more a type of setting of an intimate, you know, get to know the person, talk to them. You know, so I would have to say, once again, relationships has benefited me all these years, and it's still benefiting me now. You know, so it's not a one-time thing. I mean, it's something that you incorporate a lifestyle with, make a connection with people, and of course, being of service to them.
Well, then it sounds to me it'd be a good thing to have a good reputation.
Yes, because unfortunately, this window it's more narrow than broad, you know, and a lot of people can't get in because it's really easy to if you don't treat somebody right, the word will get out like a disease, and as soon as your name pop up, they'll say, oh no, we're not dealing with you because such and such had dealt with them before. So for myself personally, I make sure that I'm honest when I talk to people, and make sure that I can be able to meet their deadlines. If for some reason I can't meet their deadlines, I'll let them know in advance so they can make provisions or new plans to have it done. And on top of that, to make sure that I give quality work at the same time.
Okay. Well, Athoas, we have covered your musical specialty, your musical idol, and what it's like to do music full time. So take us through what a typical day or week looks like for you.
Well, first of all, I would get up and I jog in the morning. I start early in the morning. And after that, I come and have breakfast. And then I go to the site and I pull up information that I need to go over as far as, reading over new material or new music. And then shortly after that, I'll go in the next room and start working on the song. Or either I'll pick up where I left off the night before working on the new song. You know? And then, of course, I take my lunch break. And, so it's just like, but my time is flexible, where if I need to go to the park or the beach, that's part of my routine, too, to get new and fresh ideas. So the good thing is that, working for yourself, I'm able to, work around certain time schedules, and I can work in late evening or late at night. So there's no one particular way I would do that. This is how I start my day.
Okay, all right. And like you say, you're flexible enough to even take time to do this podcast.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
And thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Well, at this point, we just kind of want to leave the listeners with if there's a way they can contact you to ask a question, if a young musician would like some advice, or if somebody even want to hire you for a project, is there a way for them to contact you?
Yes, you can go to my email address, which is athoasbrown.com. That's lowercase ATHOAS Brown, BROWN, at yahoo.com. And I'll get right back with you. If you have a message or somebody would like to hire me for a project, I'm available.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Athoas Brown, for that portion of the interview. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little short break, and then when we come back, we have a question for you from John. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Take action today to change your tomorrow. PlanToWin.info is dedicated to future-focused solutions for everyday living, offering online classes and ebooks featuring Secrets of a Homeschool Mom, Guide for Hiring a Home Improvement Contractor, and Bounce Back from Divorce. Visit us today at www.plan2win.info.
Well, welcome back from the break. You're listening to the Musician Gumbo Show here on Blog Talk Radio. The call-in number is 607-203-5307. So we just had an interview with Athoas Brown. Now we're going to move into the question for this week. So we have a question from John. Now, the question is this. I was hoping you could fill me in on the strategy of marketing your songs. I understand the whole mess of getting a record deal and what record companies do. I'm more interested in learning about music publishers and how a new songwriter like myself can prepare material for them. Okay, Athoas?
Yes. Okay, well, my suggestion would be to present the type of music that you do best to a publisher. Music publisher, their job is to exploit your music to different types of venues, such as music libraries, supervisors, publishing houses, and ads or commercials. And you want to make sure that at the same time you're a good fit with the music publisher. And there are music publishers that they do specific types of music as well. And so once you find out the music that you do best, then you want to basically go toward that. Now, the best way to prepare is to make sure that you have, once again, you got to have good music, and you need to have good gear or music production equipment. So when you present it to a music publisher, what you do best, then they'll be able to hear it clean and crisp. And music publishers, they're always looking for the best music possible to represent. And you definitely want to have, or you want to basically give to them what you do best, depending on the type of material that you do. Mm-hmm. So I would say to basically guess, if you're a songwriter, because some songwriters don't play any instrument. So if you're a songwriter, get with a good musician that plays guitar or piano. Usually y'all can collaborate and be able to do the type of music that y'all would both be able to agree on, or if it's a good fit for you and that person. And then you'll be able to present that to a music publisher.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no one way to do it, but that would be the best way as far as preparing yourself. Sometimes it helps to listen to other music out there and to listen to the quality. It all comes back to the quality. If the quality is grainy and not clear and the lyrics not they have classes that you can get into, as far as some organizations, music writing classes that you can get into on top of going to school to learn how to be a proficient songwriter / producer or musician.
Mm-hmm.
So those are basically the type of things, that a person can do.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, thanks, John, for writing in with that question. If there's anything you're not clear about, you can ask another question, and we'll be more than happy to answer it here on the show. Well, Athoas, that was our very first show.
Yeah.
And we do have a little time left on the clock. So it's up to you if you want to share anything else, or at this time, or if we're going to say, you know what, that's it for the first show, and we'll see you the next show.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to leave the listeners with what we're going to talk about next week for our next week question. This next week question is from Brent. It says, when I think about non-performing songwriters and the type of songs promoted by publishing companies, I think of country music, R&B, and commercial music like jingles. Is there a market for more traditional rock-based songs in music publishing? Secondly, where can I look to find publishing companies specializing in this form of music? So we would love to hear your answer on this next week. And for those of you stay tuned till you come back and listen again next week, and Athoas will answer that question. So I tell you what, thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for sending your questions. Click to follow the show, and you will be notified by Blog Talk Radio by email or text 1 hour prior to the show going live. Now, don't forget to show us some love by sharing on your social media sites. Well, that's it for this week. Let's eat.